Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today, I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe classified figure Leatherneck by Hasbro. And I always liked this guy. He wasn't one of my top tier favorite Joe figures, but he was sort of like in the middle. I did like this actual figure when I was a kid growing up. So, first off, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And for anybody who does watch this review and you do like it, then I please ask that you subscribe and check out my G.I. Joe playlist as well. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here he is in packaging. You got your standard classified series packaging with him. So you got G.I. Joe up top, his name. You got this open window here so you can see the figure, all his accessories. G.I. Joe classified, your choking hazard, age restrictions, and Hasbro, plus your Joe star. Bring him around this way. You get an alright picture of him. You know, he has his pistol drawn. It's okay. I've seen better, but you know, for what it is, it's still pretty good. You got G.I. Joe underneath. You got his number. Bring it around this way. Get that glare off of there. You got this nice picture of him standing in pose. You have some of his details here. And then you got a whole bunch of legal underneath. Bring it around this way. You have his stats, his QR code and number. All right. Looking at the top, you got the Joe star and his number once again. And then underneath, you got more legal and SKU. So, with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. I think he's an overall good looking figure. I like the look to him. He definitely captures that look from the original 80s figure. So first off, we're going to start with his points of articulation. So the head does move. All right. You got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You got an elbow joint and a wrist joint. Okay. Get this other arm up. You do have a joint right under the ribs. All right. You're not going to get a super amount of movement with it because of his vest here. And you do have a hip joint. All right. Spin them around this way. You do have a thigh joint with a swivel. All right. You got a knee joint. Holy cows, that's tight. Oh, that's like, there it goes. All right, it is there, just really tight. All right. And then you have swivel at the ankle here. Okay. And then your ankle joint. All right. Put those arms down. So now, let's start looking at his finer details. So first off, if I can get him to stand, there we go. First off, I like the head sculpt. I think the head sculpt looks really nice on him. I don't have any issues with that. Then you have his vest where you have the sheath for his knife, 2 grenades, few pockets, and then even down in here, you got some cords and what have you. And his pants are a camouflage. Spinning around here. All right, you got this wrist piece that comes right off. So that could be lost pretty easily. So just be aware of that. All right, you got his bars right here. All right, bring it around this way. Not a whole lot going on in the back. All right. And then come around here. You got this here on his shoulder. You have a watch. Lift up the arm. It looks like he also has a radio and maybe a spare clip or something in here, which is pretty nice. So overall, he's pretty good looking. The one thing I didn't miss earlier is that he does have a holster right here for his pistol. So other than that, you know, he seems to be a pretty good looking figure. So now let's start getting into his accessories. So first off, he has 2 closed fists. So he has 1, all right, and 2. All right. He has a knife. All right. He has a pistol. All right. He has a pair of sunglasses. All right, there's the sunglasses. He has his iconic Marines hat. All right. He also has a backpack. And last but not least, he also has his machine gun with grenade launcher underneath. So now let's see how well all this stuff works on him. So first off, let's spin him around to the back. Put the backpack on so he has a hole right here in the center. Slide that on through there. Right. Gotta line that up. There it goes. All right, no issues with that. Let's get these sunglasses on them. All right, so the sunglasses work. Next be the hat. All right. So all that works pretty well on him. No issues. All right, let's get these elbows bent. Let's get the knife in this hand. All right. That went in without any issues. Now for the pistol. Yeah, I'm not liking this wrist piece here. It keeps on wanting to come off because it's not a complete loop. It's, you know, like a half. What? See, there it goes. It comes right off. I'm not even going to worry about putting it back on for the rest of this video. All right. There goes the pistol. Let's see if we can get that trigger finger in there. There it. All right. Got the finger in there. All right. So the pistol and the knife work very well with them. All right. Take the pistol out. Put it in right here. No issues getting it into the holster. Now his knife. Right up here. And that fits in there very well as well. Now for his rifle. Gotta play with it to get that trigger finger in there, but it will work eventually. There it goes. All right, I got it in there. All right, so the trigger finger does fit in there pretty well. You could probably get a two-handed hold with this as well if you really wanted to. Once again, I always say this about these classified figures. Is a nice thing about them is that their hands do open up pretty easily, especially their thumbs. So if you really want him to hold this, you can really open up this hand here. All right. And you could work it around this barrel. I'm not going to go crazy with it. It'll just take too much time. But if you really wanted to, you can get that double hand hold on it. It's just a matter of maneuvering the fingers around to get them on that barrel. So, now that we looked at the weapons, let's see how well these hands swap out. Oh, man. That does not want to come out of there. Oh, there it goes. That's a little bit on the tight side. There we go. That fist works. All right. Get that off. Now, as you can see, the watch does come off. So, for some reason, if you want to display them without the watch, you can. And that fist goes on as well. So everything seems to swap out pretty well with this figure. Okay, so my final thoughts on this figure is I do like this figure. All his joints work pretty well. The knees were a little stiff, but once you get them moving, you'll be all right with them. Little bit of hot water can also get some of that stiffness out as well. All his accessories work very well with him. I didn't have any problems with his accessories, except for the silver ring here. It wants to fall off. So just be careful of that, when you go to display him or something, because, if that falls off at the wrong spot, you'll never see it again. Also, his wrists seem a little bit tight, going on and off. I was a little bit nervous putting this hand back on him because I was afraid it was going to bend. So if you want to use a little bit of heat to loosen that stuff up before you swap out any hands, you may want to do that. You don't have to. I was able to get everything in and out, but that might be something as a precaution for you just in case. So overall, everything fits well. His joints move, and I think he's a really good looking figure. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this figure? Yes, I would. I think he would go great with the rest of your classified figures. He definitely captures the look from the original 80s cartoon figure. So I really like that about this figure. So overall, yes, I would recommend him. So with that being said, I hope y'all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.